All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to systematically dismantle probably the biggest lie society feeds us about achieving success and financial freedom. From a very young age, we are told that the secret to getting rich is just putting your head down and working harder than everyone else. But we're going to look at the actual frameworks that prove wealth generation looks fundamentally different.
Just think about this quote for a second. If hard work made people rich, construction workers would be millionaires. Wow, right? It instantly shocks you out of that traditional 9 to 5 mindset. If wealth was purely tied to physical exertion and the sheer volume of hours you put in, the hardest workers among us would be the wealthiest. But they aren't. And that's because the richest people don't just work harder. They build systems that work for them.
So, let's start with part one, the hard work myth. Schools generally prepare us to be employees, but the stark reality is that hard work actually caps your income. Why? Because your time is strictly limited to 24 hours a day. If you're paid by the hour, there is a literal mathematical ceiling on your earnings. Smart work, on the other hand, scales infinitely. By relying on systems, automation, and delegation, you divorce your earning potential from your waking hours. You finally stop trading time and start building assets.
And this shift in mindset fundamentally changes how you spend your money. The crucial takeaway here is that wealth is built by accumulating assets that put money in your pocket rather than liabilities that drain it. Society tricks us into buying expensive phones, flashy cars, and luxury clothes the absolute second we get a raise. Millionaires, however, funnel their money into businesses, stocks, real estate, software, and digital products. They buy things that generate more money. Which brings us nicely to section 2, the power of leverage.
Now that we've completely shattered the hard work myth, we need to understand the exact mechanism millionaires use to scale their wealth. Leverage is the core secret to escaping that trap of trading hours for dollars. It's the ultimate force multiplier. It basically means that for every 1 unit of effort you put in, you get 10, 100, or even 1,000 units of output.
So how do you actually do that? Well, there are 4 main types of leverage: money, people, code, and media. Using capital or hiring employees are your traditional forms, sure, but the modern cheat codes, those are code and media. Writing a piece of software or recording a YouTube video costs you time exactly once, but using code and media allows a single person to reach millions of people instantly, over and over again, at zero marginal cost. It's a real game changer.
Okay, moving into part 3, high income skills and AI.
To build that kind of leverage, you first need a foundation, and that starts with developing specific, high-income abilities. The cool thing is, you don't just have to be a Silicon Valley programmer to pull this off. Whether it's the persuasion of sales and copywriting, the technical chops of coding and AI, or the creative pull of video editing and content creation, these are skills that scale. Mastering just one of these gives you the power to negotiate better deals, attract huge audiences, and ultimately build massive leverage. And honestly, we can't talk about modern skills without addressing the elephant in the room. Listen, AI doesn't replace smart people. It replaces repetitive work. Using tools like ChatGPT or coding assistants isn't about cutting corners. Actually, scratch that. It's more like giving yourself superpowers to accelerate your workflow so you can focus entirely on high-level growth and strategy. It is the ultimate personal leverage.
All right, part 4, building multiple income streams.
Once you have high-income skills and AI on your side, you can start building the safety nets that actual millionaires use. Think of your initial salary as a seed. You don't just spend it, you cascade it into investments, and then into funding a side business. Over time, that branches out into digital products, affiliate marketing, YouTube revenue, or rental income. The whole goal is that you no longer depend on a single source of income. If one stream dries up, you've got 3 others flowing seamlessly into your bank account.
Now you might be wondering, why go through all this effort to build automated streams? It's simple. Money can be lost, and hey, it can always be earned again. But time? Once it's gone, it absolutely cannot be earned back. This is exactly why wealthy people obsessively delegate, automate, and outsource. Time is the only truly finite resource we have. They literally use their money to buy back their time.
And when you free up your time, you can focus on something incredibly powerful: the compound effect. This doesn't just apply to money in a stock portfolio. It applies to your learning, your skills, your networking, and your content. Never, ever underestimate how small, daily improvements across these categories snowball into massive wealth over the span of just a few years. Consistency in the right areas yields exponential results. To support that compounding effect, you need the right daily habits to keep you aligned with your long-term vision. We're talking morning planning, reading, exercise, deep work, and long-term thinking.
High performers don't just react to the day, they design their day around activities that build leverage and generate real assets.
On the flip side, you have to ruthlessly avoid the common traps that keep people poor. Fear of failure and waiting for perfect timing, those will paralyze you, for sure. But the most dangerous trap by far is lifestyle inflation, which silently eats away any extra money you start earning. If your expenses rise at the exact same rate as your income, you're going to be stuck on the hamster wheel forever, no matter how much you actually earn. So let's tie all of this theory together into our final section, your 5-year wealth roadmap. This is a highly practical, chronological action plan you can start today. In year 1, your focus is entirely on learning high-income skills, saving, investing, and building an audience. By year 2, you leverage those skills into a freelance gig or a small business. Year 3 is all about automating that business and aggressively investing the profits. In year 4, you scale up using AI and hiring others. And by year 5, you own multiple assets, generating passive income. It proves building wealth isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a disciplined, 5-year journey of creating scalable value. As we start to wrap up this explainer, I want you to really internalize this thought. Working harder can make you tired, but working smarter, that can make you wealthy. The goal isn't just to work until you're completely exhausted, trying to prove to the world how busy you are. Being busy is not the same as being productive, and it certainly isn't the same as being wealthy. So I have to ask you, are you going to work forever? Or are you going to build systems that make money while you sleep? The choice is entirely up to you. Start taking action today, subscribe for more breakdowns just like this, and seriously ask yourself what kind of future you are actively building right now. Thanks for joining me for this explainer today, and I'll see you next time.